Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Shenplays. Welcome to Kerbal Space Program, where we have built, well, it is not the Penetrator 5000, but it might as well be. This is a rocket with some really nice large fuel tanks. We unlocked these fuel tanks with that 2,500 science we took from Minmus last trip. And we've also unlocked, well, some interesting stuff. Mining drills. So we have mining drills in here. We have a little base. We have this, what is this called? R604. It converts ore into fuel. We also have a camera. We have a nice little probe head. We have an ore tank up here. It looks like, I don't know, a sleeping bag? It looks like a giant black sleeping bag, but it's an ore tank. And that's going to store the ore that we mine up. And then we're going to be able to convert that into fuel. And I'm not sure how this system really works, but we have sent up some survey probes, and I guess I can show you the survey probes while we're here. Mun. Focus view on the mun. So if we focus view on the mun, you'll see that we have this pretty much perfectly polar probe right here, and that probe is providing us with data, and it shows us where there is ore, or maybe it doesn't. Okay, I don't know why it's not showing us. Maybe I have to switch over to the ore scanner. Well, anyway, it shows us where the ore is on the mun, which is kind of interesting. Basically, it's a heat map, which you can adjust to be either, you know, more red, more green, or more purple, or whatever color you want. And we've also put one around Minmus. So if we go focus view on Minmus, you'll see we have a polar orbit around Minmus. And this is the Minmus ore scanner. And the idea is we're going to land somewhere which has ore. We're going to drill up that ore. We're going to convert it into fuel, and then that will allow us to continue exploring space. But this launch is just to play around with it, because I really have no idea how all this works. I've never used the mods that this is based on. This is based on mods, I'm sure. I've never used the mods that this is based on. So we're just going to play around with it and see what happens. We're sending an engineer with us on this team, Nicoulaie Kerman, freshly recruited from Twitch chat. Yeah, let's go explore, Nicoulaie. You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? Let's do it. Let's do it. So the launch phase is just a bunch of orange tanks around a mainsail with some skipper engines. So once these skippers are all out of fuel, we'll switch over to just the mainsail, and hopefully the mainsail should have plenty of thrust to get us keep going. The lander itself weighs like 24 tons. It's pretty hefty. It's pretty bulky, and we're only using 2 LV909s to lift it, which I think is plenty, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll just find out. We'll just find out. We'll see how good or bad or whatever it goes. And then from this experiment, we're going to figure out if we can turn this into maybe a recurring thing. Maybe what we can do, first stage, maybe what we can do is put down a base, a mobile base, like a rover base, which has like an orange tank for fuel storage. It has wheels to allow it to move around. It has docking ports to allow you to connect up to it. And then maybe what this thing will do is we'll have one on Minmus, we'll have one on the Mun, we'll have one on Gilly, we'll have one on Ike, we'll have one on Duna. And the idea behind it is you'll be able to fly there with whatever craft you want, which doesn't need much in the terms of fuel to, like, you know, get around. And then you can come somewhere near where the base is, where the mobile base is, and then the mobile base can drive over to you, dock up with you, fill you up with fuel, and then you can fly off and keep on exploring. That sounds amazing. I think the better thing would be if they find a way to mine asteroids or something like that, where you can turn asteroid goo into fuel. Because currently the system is to turn planet-side or moon-side ore into fuel. And the problem with planet-side or moon-side ore is it's kind of difficult to get. In other words, you can mine it easily enough, but to get your craft to that position is pretty difficult because of gravity. But also to actually get off of that position and leave that celestial body is very expensive on fuel. So it would be really cool if they had, you know, asteroids that you could dig up because getting to and from asteroids is very cheap, very inexpensive. Now, Ansada says you can mine asteroids too, but they're not infinite like planets are. They run out. Okay. So you can potentially mine asteroids too, but then they run out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. We'll play with it. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. And Nicoulaie, I'm pretty sure she knows that I'm clueless. She's like, what the fuck is this mission for? She's like, I don't know what I'm doing up here. We spent a lot of our money. We spent 1.7 million credits to upgrade the science building so that we could research things that research things that require 500 or more science to research. Because there's limitations. The science building, when you upgrade it, it unlocks more complicated scientific stuff. So we went all in. We've upgraded the science facility 100%. But to do that cost us 1.7 million credits, which means that was like half of our money. That was just over half of our money just to upgrade the science lab. So, but that unlocked things like the drilling arm. It unlocked the ore tank. So we can now do this drilling stuff and refueling and stuff. And wow, this thing is a little bit wobbly. Oh man, I should have put some space tape on here. Really should have put space tape on here. Let's go ahead and pop the fairing. Beautiful. So there's our lander in all of its glory. It has a docking port on the top. The reason it has a docking port on the top is because this is just a mission. The mission is to put a base on Minmus, and the base has to have room for 5 kerbals. But to go along with that mission, we have all the requirements for it, and then we also have this drilling thing. And we're going to see how it works. I'm sure other people have far more experience with the drilling than I do, but whatever, I just want to play with it. Roll over a bit, please. Oh, we can get our solar panels out. That might be fun. Where's my solar panels? There they are. These things are huge. But these solar panels provide 24 electricity per second, assuming they have 100% contact with the sun. They provide tons and tons of electricity. Whereas the smaller ones only provide like, 1.8 electricity per second. These provide 24 electricity per second. It's a huge difference. Okay, cut the engines, and we're going to drift out to 90. No, get out of Minmus. Let's get orbit here. Focus. Focus, damn it. We almost have orbit, but let's actually circularize out here. And the reason we're sending this to Minmus is because Minmus is much easier to land than the Mun. Minmus's gravity is much lower than the Mun. Oh, right, we unlocked this better probe head. Where's the probe head? There it is, right here. So we unlocked this better probe head, the RC TAC 001S remote guidance unit. And this is one of the endgame probe heads. This thing allows us to do what's called maneuver, meaning it will orient your craft towards the maneuver that you've set. Isn't that just brilliant? Now you can do the same thing if you have a pilot who is highly skilled. As the pilot skills up, they will first unlock prograde retrograde burns, or prograde retrograde lock. Then they'll unlock normal and anti-normal lock. Then they'll unlock radial and anti-radial lock. And then they'll unlock maneuver lock. Now it's really, really cool that the probes can do this too, because it means you don't need to have a highly skilled pilot on every craft that you fly just to get where you want to go in an efficient manner. But you can just put the probe head on, and look at this. It rotates for you. It's great. And we have an engineer instead of a pilot, and the engineer gets more efficient ore mining and more efficient conversion of ore into whatever materials you're making. In our case, we're going to be making fuel. But I believe you can also set this thing up to do, yeah, liquid fuel and oxygen, Monopropellant. Okay, so you can do monopropellant as well. So if you run out of your little EVA suit runs out of monopropellant, you can make monopropellant with the ore. That's amazing. This is going to be so much fun. Just figuring out how to use all this shit. I love it. All right, burn, baby, burn. Whoa, 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 whoa. 1500 thrust is pretty potent there. Close enough. All right, good job. SAS off. And I'm going to ditch... Nah, we don't have to ditch that stage just yet. The problem is this thing is very long and lanky, and we're thrusting with one of the strongest engines in the game. And you really don't want to do that if you're super, super long like this, unless you have a lot of support. And we don't have any more space tape. It's all gone. So, yeah... We're gonna... Well, I could ditch it... Yeah, I'll ditch it. Yeah, I'll ditch it. Bye. Okay. So we're now down to a poodle, which has tons of delta V. We have 1,700 delta V on this poodle, and that's going to be plenty for us to get to Minmus. And without that extra mass on us, we're going to be a lot less wobbly, which is fantastic. So let's go ahead and set Minmus as target. And first thing we're going to do is get our plane to match Minmus. As you can see, Minmus is well, not highly inclined. Minmus is slightly inclined compared to our plane right now. Right now we're on equatorial plane around Kerbin. But to get on Minmus's plane, what we do is we let our craft drift over to one of these two nodes. There's a descending node and the ascending node. Either one will work just fine. You add a maneuver on either one, and you either go up or down to match your plane. In this case, we're going up. There we go. So set on maneuver, lock. I love that it does this for you. Oh shoot, it's a 40-second burn. Ah, that's fine. We'll be a little bit off because we're starting it a little late. That's fine. We were just too close to the node. That's okay. We'll still wind up pretty close. And you don't have to be 100% accurate if you're not tight on fuel. And we're not tight on fuel. We're good, I think. I think we're good on fuel. I hope we're good on fuel. What did we get? We got 0.3, which is not perfect, but that's because we burned 10 seconds too late. But 0.3 should be enough to get us close enough, I think. The only reason why it might be a bit of a problem is because Minmus is very low mass, but nah, it'll probably be fine. All right, so now we wait for Minmus to be on the horizon. So we're going to wait maybe, I don't know, a few hours. Okay, there we go. Minmus is on the horizon. And now what we do is we say orient towards the target. And now we just burn towards the target. We don't even have to set a maneuver here. Anytime you're within a celestial body's sphere of influence, like Kerbin has this, very large sphere of influence, and you want to head to one of the bodies that is orbiting the same body that you're orbiting, just put it on the horizon and go. Although we might get the Mun interfering with us. The Mun's at a very unfortunate location here. Gosh darn it, Mun. Didn't nobody teach you any manners? You stupid Mun. Get out of here, Mun. Oh, the Mun. The Mun! Make a Mun or Duna base? Well, that's kind of what this is, actually. The problem with this is not a very good Mun or Minmus base. This is simply, let's see what the hell happens when we play around with ore base. I'm curious. We've already set up our scanner probe. You know what's weird about the scanner probe? So we put one in orbit around the Mun. We put one in orbit around Minmus. You turn them on. They run a scan. It uses a lot of electricity. And then when they're done with the scan, you have scanned the entire moon. with one scan. And that just blows my mind. It's like, okay, the scanner is positioned over a particular location on the moon. You scan there. And now you've scanned the entire moon. Just done. It's like, what? I hope they change that, because it seems a little weird. Wow, we've burned through 1,000 delta V just getting this far away from Kerbin. Medi, calm down, dude. Oh, the mun is going to be in the way. No, mun, I hate you. Oh, no, we're good, we're good. Okay, now we focus on Minmus, and we're just going to burn very gently here. Very gently until we see something. There we go. Got it. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we've got an intersection with Minmus. Not an intersection. It's an encounter with Minmus. That's what it's called. And we're just going to drift out there until Minmus catches us. Oh, we can turn the lights on. Yay, purple lights. So let's drift. Mun, you better leave me alone. You better leave me alone. I'm counting on you to leave me the hell alone, Mun. Don't you dare. Don't even think about it. Okay. Okay, good. It looks like we've avoided the mun. Thank goodness. Oh, we were so close to getting caught by the mun. So close. But we avoided it. Good. It looks like we're going to pass over the top of Minmus, and that's because our incline was just a little off. The planar incline was a little off because of the late burn, but that's okay. I don't really care. I'm just out here to explore and have fun. Although after this, I'm probably going to have to spend some time doing some really boring, like just launch satellite, launch satellite, launch satellite, just to make money. You know, complete a mission to make money. Although this one, I think planting the base on Minmus pays out pretty well. Okay, enter Minmus influence, please. What do we got? 80k? Yeah, 80k, perfect. Okay. So we're going to set up, if I could get a maneuver, please. Please let me put a maneuver. There you go. I don't know why it does that. Nope, it failed. I don't know why it does that. The maneuver, just being able to place maneuver, it just seems really buggy. And it's been like that since they introduced the maneuver node system. They just never really did anything about it. Anyway, we need to know where the ore is, but we know that there's a lot of ore around the equator, which is great because the equator is just really easy to get to, and the equator is like the best place to launch from as well. The heck? Okay, what just happened there? Do I need to go, like, prograde or something? Okay, prograde. There we go. I'm like, why is it pushing away? Normally these controls make sense, but I guess it's because we're already in a polar orientation. Yeah, prograde does something different when you're in a polar orientation. Alright, so we'll probably want to come in somewhere around, I don't know, 15, something like that. Okay. Wow, 208 just to get over there? That doesn't sound right. Try again. Shouldn't take 208 delta V just to alter our orientation of the approach here. Okay, 30 delta V. That sounds better. There we go. Okay, that's much better. 15. Perfect. 23 delta V. That's what I want to see. All right, that makes more sense. I don't know why it was 200. I guess I was playing with prograde too much. Anyway, just very gentle burn here. There's no reason to push this. Put up to like 1/3 power, and then we'll put it back down. It's better to be more accurate when you're further away like this, because the burns are way more efficient when you burn further away. When you burn from further away. All right, so what did we get? We got 26. I'll take it. All right, set up maneuver, please. Maneuver. 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 Right there. No, not that far. Not that far. No. Okay, that's better. 15. Perfect. Okay. Orient maneuver. I love that we have a probe head now that does all these maneuver. I don't have to touch the WASD at all. It just does it for me. It's great. And then we can just go ahead and fast forward. And of course, Kerbal Alarm Clock will stop us when it's time to burn. Thanks, Kerbal Alarm Clock. Oh, that's right. We still have the lights on. Look at those massive drills. Jesus Christ, that's huge. We're not even going to use both of them. We're just going to use one drill. The only reason why I have two is because they weigh 1/4 ton each, and they can only be mounted on the sides. So it makes sense to have two to keep them balanced. Wow, Minmus, you sure are lumpy. It could just be the shadows right there, though, but it looks like that's just a big lump. Okay, this is going to be 20-second burn starting at T-minus 10 seconds. Not a problem. I'm too happy, therefore something's going to go wrong. Well, obviously. You're playing the wrong game if you think something's not going to go wrong. Of course something's going to go wrong. Okay. I think we have orbit. Yep, we're burning down our periapsis now. Okay. 15 periapsis sounds good to me. Now what we're going to do is switch over. If we go M, we can switch over to this vehicle, and we can find out where to land. I don't know why we're not seeing the ore indicator. All right. Where's the ore? Do I have to run the scan again? Maybe I have to run the scan again. Maybe, I mean, I closed Kerbal Space Program. Maybe I have to run the scan again. No, I didn't close Kerbal Space Program. Well, then why? Whatever, just run the scan again. That's fine. Run the scan. There we go. Okay, now if we switch back to the other craft, does it keep the overlay going? I hope so. So we know where to scan. Or so we know where to land. No, it's still off. Well, wow, that is so frustrating. So we can't be flying the craft that I want to land and still see where I want to land. That's so silly. Wow. Oh, you actually have to click on this button called ore. Really? You're okay, there we go. Fine, there we go. Got it. Okay. Fine. All right, and it looks like there's some ore right here on this flat area. Could go up there. Could go over here. It could go over there. But it looks like there's, let's see, there's none there. But yeah, right there on the flats. That's where I would want to go. Landing on the highlands is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not that hard, but it's just so much easier to land on the flats. Let me just put the biomes on just to make it really easy to see where the flats are. Oh, when you turn on this ore view, it turns off the biomes map. Okay, let's see if there's any ore in this biome. Not really. Oh, that is freaky. I'm just trying to, I wish you could overlay both at the same time. Just, whatever. This is, it's all new to me, and it doesn't feel very intuitive. But yeah, this looks like a good spot right there. So let's try to land right there. It's too bad you can't see it when you're in this view as well. That would be incredibly useful. All right, so let's set up a burn. To land like right there. Probably going to be like right about there by the time we get over it. Because the moon's going to be rotating underneath us this entire time. So let's fast forward. Yeah, we're going to have to move that again. That's okay. Okay. Let's get oriented first. And we'll try to dump this, we'll try to dump the Poodle engine. We still have 350 delta V. We'll try to dump it, I don't know, somewhere on the way down. I'll try to use most of the fuel from the Poodle on the way down. Okay, going to start at 6 seconds. 9, 8, 7, go. And again, this doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. We have extra fuel. We should be okay. But we'll try to do it all in one go like there. Good. Okay, now we're going to add another maneuver at the very bottom, so we know where our impact is going to be in about 5 minutes. Okay. Let's fast forward a little bit. Three minutes. 2 minutes. 1 minute. All right. Are we still at the right place? It looks to be the right place. We might want to get a little bit further onto the flat. And it looks like we're actually going to land on a slope here instead of on the flats. That's unfortunate. Yeah. That's definitely not flat. It's going to be a little tough to land there. But okay, we'll deal with it. Let's put the land legs down. Slow down a bit. Currently 5,000 meters above the ground. You can see here the altitude of the flat area is exactly 0. It's considered sea level. But what's underneath us is going to be a little higher than that. Maybe 100 meters. Maybe a little less than 100 meters. And you can see the actual altitude right here, thanks to Kerbal Engineer. You know what? Let's get to the flat. Alright, that should get us to the flat. I'm just not comfortable landing something this heavy on that slope. Burn horizontal. Okay. Let's dump this. And watch that thing explode. Do we still have ore under us? Yeah, there still should be ore under us, although it doesn't look like bright red. It should be decent. We'll see. So essentially, where the brightest red is going to be where the most ore is. So the drill will get exactly 1 ore per second on the perfect ore position. On a lesser ore position, it won't get 1 ore per second. It'll get less than that. But that's usually okay because this thing, the ISRU, does not use 1 ore per second. It uses like half an ore per second. All right, we're about 700 meters. Let's slow down a bit. Okay, 20 meters per second. That thing should crash soon. 400 meters and dropping. There you go. Explosions. 250. 200. Explosions. It's going to come down nice and gently here. There's no reason to go this slow, this high up. But whatever. I'll be cautious here. Nicoulaie at least is having a grand old time. She's loving this. She's never been outside of Kerbin before. She's never been on any mission at all before. So for her, this is just fantastic. And we're down. All right, so let's see. How the hell does this work? I mean, we're here. Did that complete the mission, by the way? It did. There you go. Surfaced outpost on Minmus. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back, team. We just made, I don't know, a couple 100,000 credits or something. Whatever it was. It wasn't worth that much, but, you know, whatever. Something. So we right-click and we deploy the drill. Status, moving. Whoa! That drill actually shoves into the ground. Okay. So the drill actually shoves into the ground. That's a problem. That's a problem. Good to know. Like I said, we're just learning. Okay, so now we can do what? Start harvester? There you go. It's drilling away. Oh, shit. And we wobble, too. Look at us wobble. We're wobbling. That is not really hurting our electrics. Okay. Now this ore canister should start filling up. Yeah, 0.19, 0.20, 0.21. Okay. Jettison tank contents. What does that do? Oh, it just deletes the ore in there. Okay. Let's see. Make some fuel? Well, how much fuel do we have in these tanks here? Let's take a look at one. 340 out of 360. So let's start making fuel here. 340. Is it actually making fuel? No, it says it's inactive. Oh, it needs more ore. So this one drill is not able to drill enough. Oh, wow. Ore rate, 0.0121. It's like so slow. This ore sucks. Extend the other drill. If I extend the other drill, we're probably going to flip over. I mean, we'll try it. Cross your fingers. I'm gonna do a quick save. Cross your fingers, everyone. Don't flip over. Don't flip over. Oh. Apparently SAS is enough to keep us there. Okay, then. Still says inactive. We're not getting enough ore. Oh, right. Surf. Harvest. Jiggle, jiggle. Jiggle, jiggle. We're dancing. We're dancing, baby. This is the weirdest thing. We're dancing to the sunset. Woohoo! Oh, man, look at her fucking face. She's like, this is the best thing ever. Holy shit. The SAS is holding us upright on 2 legs. They're not even feet. Oh, it is working though. We went from 340 to 341. So it is working. It's just incredibly slow. Oh man, Nicoulaie is having the time of her fucking life. Exactly. Twitch chat saying fap, 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 fap. Indeed. She is loving it. She has never had a vibration this good. Well, this is definitely not going to be like a reusable base that we're going to be able to, well, we could do is we could hop it up. I mean, these engines are strong enough. We could hop this up and we could move to a place with better ore. Like we could come up. This is just dark right up here. We get lots of ore up here. We could hop up there and get better ore up there, but I mean, at the same time, I didn't really put any science on here, and that would be the main purpose, right? If we brought an engineer and a scientist, we could have the engineer constantly refueling everything with this setup, and we could have the scientist constantly getting us more and more and more and more science, and we just hop from place to place to place to place to place as long as we can land it safely. Then, fantastic, and you make a buttload of science. And then maybe at the very, very, very end, you just jettison the return pod, and then you just come home with your 2 kerbals and all your science. But I think as an experiment, this is kind of cool. I like it. It's freaky. It still hasn't 341. Gosh, you guys need to make more fucking fuel, man. The electrics aren't being harmed at all because the ISRU is barely even running. It's barely even running. Inactive. It's at 4% of its load. Oh, these miners. Surface harvester, 100% load. I guess it's going as fast as it can, I guess. Oh well. I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for joining me. I've been Shen, you've been you. We're learning about surface harvesting. And we're learning the hard way. But you know what? Nobody died. So I'm going to call it a complete success. And besides, we have, bright purple lights, which is just fantastic. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Jiggle, 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 jiggle.